The tension in the studio could be felt long before cameras rolled, the kind of static crackle that even the warm lights overhead couldn't burn off. Joy Behar shuffled her note cards, muttering to herself, her jaw tight, her patience tighter. Normally she joked around before a show, tossing one-liners at producers and warming up the room with her signature sarcasm. But today wasn't normal, and everyone knew it. Olivia Wilde was backstage, mic'd up, pacing, and already visibly irritated, as if she'd arrived prepared for a fight, rehearsed, sharpened, waiting for her cue to unleash it. The stage manager counted down, the theme music swelled, and the audience erupted with rehearsed enthusiasm. Joy plastered on a smile, though it didn't meet her eyes. The other co-hosts sensed it too. Sunny shot Joy a cautionary glance, Sarah nudged her coffee a little closer as if bracing for impact, and Alyssa quietly flipped through her briefing pages like a nervous student preparing for a pop quiz she didn't ask for. "And welcome to The View," Whoopi announced with her usual commanding warmth. "We've got a lot to talk about today," and later we're joined by actress and director Olivia Wilde. The applause rose again, but from the corner of the table, Joy sighed audibly, not even bothering to hide it. Whoopi silenced her with a quick side-eye, but Joy barely reacted. She had a reputation for not holding back, and today she felt especially unrestrained. The segment before Olivia's appearance was supposed to be light, celebrity culture, industry dynamics, harmless opinions about directors' transitions into new projects. But Joy, feeling the friction already bubbling beneath her ribs, accelerated the show straight into turbulence. "I'm just saying," Joy said, leaning forward, stabbing the air with her pen, "some directors think they're revolutionizing Hollywood when really they're just recycling old ideas with a fancy filter." The audience laughed awkwardly. They could never quite tell when Joy was being sarcastic and when she was being brutally honest. Sarah attempted to smooth the edges. "Well, innovation can look different depending on the lens." "Please," Joy cut her off. "Hollywood thinks it invented creativity. Half the time it's all ego." There was no chance of walking it back now. Producers backstage exchanged glances as Olivia Wilde, waiting behind the curtain, crossed her arms tightly. Her expression made it clear, Joy's comments landed exactly where she expected them to. Whoopi steered the conversation toward the guest segment with a diplomatic tone. "All right, let's bring out Olivia Wilde." The applause surged again, but the air felt heavier as Olivia stepped into the lights. She waved politely, though her eyes darted immediately to Joy, sharp and unblinking. She took her seat elegantly, but with the distinct posture of someone entering a courtroom, not a daytime talk show. "Olivia," Whoopi began gently, "you've had a huge year. New projects, new milestones." Olivia nodded. "Thank you, I appreciate that." But Joy didn't wait. "So, Olivia, I'm curious," she said, folding her hands with faux sweetness. "Do you think Hollywood needs another big-budget passion project that claims to reinvent the wheel but ends up being, well, the same wheel?" The studio froze. Even the cameras felt like they hesitated. Olivia blinked once, then let out a slow, controlled breath. "Is that supposed to be about my film, Joy? Or are you just taking a swipe at everyone today?" Joy smirked. "If the wheel fits." The audience gave a few scattered gasps. Alyssa's mouth fell open slightly, Sunny raised an eyebrow so high it practically joined her hairline. Whoopi muttered something under her breath that the microphones didn't catch. Olivia didn't back down. "You know, Joy," she said, leaning forward with a smile that wasn't quite a smile, "it's fascinating how loudly people criticize creativity when they haven't participated in it. Art is hard work. Snark is, well, snark." That was a clean hit. Even the audience reacted with a collective, "Oh." Joy burst out laughing, but it wasn't her usual laugh. It was loud, defensive, edged with disbelief. She slapped the table. "Oh, spare me. I've been in this business longer than some of your co-stars have been alive. I can spot pretension when I see it. And I can spot insecurity, Olivia said calmly. For a moment, the entire table froze. Sunny subtly pressed her lips together, as if signaling that this was about to go off the rails. Joy stiffened. Insecurity? Honey, I'm too old to be insecure. Well, Olivia said, you're certainly too old to be this bothered by a movie director. The line landed like a grenade. Joy's face flushed. Wow. Age jokes. Very original. Hollywood hypocrisy at its finest, preach feminism, then throw ageism around the second you feel cornered. Olivia opened her mouth, but Whoopi jumped in, desperate to keep the show from combusting. All right, ladies, this is a conversation, not the Colosseum. But Joy wasn't finished. I'm just saying, she continued, speaking over Whoopi, some directors are better at selling controversy than making genuine art. Olivia leaned back, voice icy. And some talk show hosts are better at starting fights than having meaningful discussions. Sarah quietly reached for her mug again. The energy shifted, completely. Audience members exchanged looks, realizing they were witnessing something far beyond scripted TV tension. Even the crew, normally invisible during filming, stood unusually still at the edges of the set, their faces tight. Joy suddenly raised a hand toward the producer's booth. Can we pause this? Seriously. Because if I'm gonna be called insecure on my own show, maybe we need to rethink what we're doing here. A gasp rippled through the studio. No one paused the view, not on air. Not like this. Whoopi widened her eyes. Joy, we're live. I know we're live. Joy snapped, almost triumphantly. Maybe that's the problem. Olivia crossed her arms, no longer hiding her irritation. Nobody insulted your career, Joy. You started this. I responded. That's how a conversation works. Not when you start attacking me personally, Joy fired back. And not when you make snide comments before a guest even sits down, Olivia replied. The audience shifted uncomfortably. This wasn't entertainment anymore, it was a fracture forming in real time. The moment the red, on-air, light blinked back to life, the studio audience tried to recover its earlier enthusiasm with a fresh wave of applause, but it came out uneven, nervous, like they had been asked to cheer at a funeral. Whoopi sat straighter, forcing her composure back into place. Sarah inhaled sharply, and Sunny tapped her pen twice against the table, a small habit she used whenever something felt like it was about to detonate again. Olivia Wilde sat cool and poised, although her jaw was set with a quiet, simmering firmness. But it was Joy Behar who made everyone hold their breath. She returned from the brief commercial break slowly, as if each step toward her chair was weighted with irritation, confusion, and the unmistakable spark of someone who felt both challenged and cornered. The producers had begged her backstage to take it down a notch, reminding her that millions were watching, reminding her that guests needed at least a semblance of safety. Joy listened, but only in the way she listened to a background noise she had long grown used to ignoring. She sat down, but her eyes never once drifted toward Olivia. Whoopi tried to re-establish control. Welcome back. We were having a spirited conversation with Olivia Wilde. Spirited, Joy repeated under her breath, rolling her eyes just enough for the camera to catch it. Olivia's lips curled into a slight smile, not petty, not smug, but a controlled expression of someone who had grown very skilled at keeping her cool while the environment burned around her. Whoopi continued, let's all take a breath in. No, Joy interrupted sharply. We don't have to take a breath. We have to be honest. A stunned stillness drifted across the audience again. Sarah stared at Joy as if silently pleading with her to stop. Alyssa sat completely motionless, knowing any attempt to intervene would only ignite another spark. Joy leaned in, her voice low but heated. If a guest comes on The View, they should expect opinions. That's the whole point of the show. That's what we do here. I don't appreciate being talked down to like I'm some kind of dinosaur just because I called out